Hello, good morning. It's a new day. Fall season's fully here. I'm pulling out some coat. Well, the coat is vintage. I got it last winter, and this is new. That was just sent to me by a brand called Salzwasser. Put a link down below. There's an affiliate code for you guys. And then this bag is from Oh My Bag, and it's a new edition. I love these like crossbody bags. They're so convenient when like going to the grocery store and carrying other bags as well, or just like having something where you have your hands free. And it's all made from sustainable leather, and it just got lots of space and pockets in it. So I just wanted to share it with you. So lovely. I also wanted to add some color to my closet, so I added some brown. I have a lot of black bags, so I thought maybe some brown would be really lovely and add some warmth to the temperature these days. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the post office and the bakery and then do some work. I just prepped some pita dough because I'm going to dinner to a friend tonight, and he asked me to bring some appetizer. And I've never made homemade pita, but I know it's delicious, and I've seen many people do it, and it always was so good. And I was like, why did I never make? And I saw a friend for lunch today, and she was like, why don't you make this? So I decided to try something new, and we'll see how it turns out, hopefully good. And then I also got some sun-dried tomatoes to do like a dip to bring with. I wanted to make like an eggplant dip as well, but I think it might be a bit too much. I think I'll just do the sun-dried tomato one, which I did recently for another picnic, and it came out so great, so I'll share the recipe with you guys. And now I've got a friend coming in 15 minutes. She's visiting an apartment, and she asked me to come with her because she's never rented a place before. And I mean, for anyone who's in my life, whether that's you guys or my friends, they know that I've moved like 10 times in the last 10 years. So I have my fair share of experience with visiting apartments and picking one and asking the right questions. Although a lot of the apartments I've ended up in were apartments that like I just fell in love with straight away, and I was like, yeah, this is it, and I would just go for it. And it's officially fall season now. It's gotten so cold so quickly. It was like 25 degrees, like still like summer, a few weeks ago. But I must say, it's the first time I'm saying this, but I must say I'm enjoying the cold. I think I've been trying to avoid summer for so many years recently, and I'm actually really enjoying the fresh right now. So, I mean, let's embrace that, hey? Something's changing, so that's exciting. And I also, this morning, met a girl who I met like a while ago, who has this shop in Switzerland, but it ships internationally, or at least Europe, to Europe, called Rue des Trendes, which is a shop that just resells clothes from influencers. And so some of my closet will be for sale there. I'll put a link down below. So if you live in Switzerland, you can go and shop it there at the store directly. But otherwise, you can also shop online and get it delivered. So that's like a good alternative to me, like doing all the Depop stuff. And I'll see how that goes. This is something new I'm trying, and a lot of you have mentioned being interested in like purchasing some of my clothes. Right now I'm like in this big phase of figuring out what I want to do professionally, and how I want to continue this channel and the Instagram. So actually, one thing that would be super helpful for me right now from you guys would be to share in the comments below, like if you follow the YouTube or the Instagram or both, and what you like from them and like what you're getting, because I really want to like bring something more than just like sharing my day-to-day life, which I think sometimes is not that interesting. But I do understand the hype behind vlogs as well. So yeah, I do want to get back a little bit into fashion. I enjoy working with fashion, with interior, and yeah, we're looking at different options right now, and opening doors and see where things go. Trying to say yes to life and do what comes up. That's it. I'm gonna get ready and meet my friend, and hopefully my pitas will look like this. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll try that later. It needs to rest for an hour. recently I've been thinking about how in life we've got seasons and cycles, and there's parts of the cycle that are more about like where you plant seeds and things start growing and you're more into like a action mode. Then you reach something or some goal, some place that you've envisioned. And then when that happens, you go through a process of letting go as well. It's like this full circle thing, and it comes back to where you were before it even started, but it's not quite the same because you've built all of that. That's a bit where I am right now. Like a few years ago, I started this channel 2015, so it's been 8 years. But in 2017, I decided, okay, I knew this could become a job. But in 2017, I started to put in consistent action towards getting to YouTube becoming my main source of income and my full-time job. And 2019, my channel had grown consistently and then exponentially after a video of mine went viral, and then another one, and then my channel just exploded. So that was 2019, and it's been 4 years, but technically I've been working on this channel for 8, but making income and it being my job since 4. And I had really envisioned myself like a certain goal, like it was very specific. And when I reached it, I was like, wow, like this was so quick in a way. It required a lot of hard work, and I did put in so many hours into creating this, and so much research and so much creation and action. I've heard something really valuable last year from a man I met in South Africa who's much older, and he said something to me along the line of like, every mountain you climb, you need to come down it. And that was such a valuable lesson. And I think that burnout happens when we try to keep climbing and we never take time to rest or to come back down whatever we've created. It's not about scratching it, but it's about just like energetically letting go of the attachment to what we've created and adapting it accordingly so that there can be space to something new. And when you create your own business, it becomes like an extension of you. It's like, it's not just a job you go to pay your bills. It's something that you almost become one with. It's something you find so much purpose in. In my situation, it's definitely become like an extension of who I am. And I think that's fair with most jobs. Like, not everyone identifies to their job, but I think as humans, we identify with what we do. That's not who we are, but that's what we do in the world and how we serve. As becoming like an influencer, a public figure, or YouTuber, whatever you want to call it, content creator, your face and your body is part of it as well. Which it is in all professions, but there's I think something slightly different about being in the public eye, showcasing your work, but then yourself as a entity, like being public. There is like this weird thing that happens where there is somewhat of a merging between, I've noticed it in myself, like there was somewhat of a merging of like Chloe, the YouTuber on social media, and then the Chloe in real life and behind the scene. And when these two start somewhat merging or like fading on top of one another, I've noticed in myself that I started losing more and more of who I was like before all of this took off. But and eventually we find our own way, which is, I guess, how it always is. Like, no one can find it for us. But yeah, it's just been like a very interesting thing to experience and to navigate. And I think that's been one thing that's made me feel very lonely recently, because I know in person very few people who are going through similar things. Always the positive, and actually a very old friend of mine recently that I've reconnected with, and it's been so lovely. She was telling me, like, Claire, are you not tired of like always pretending everything's good and great, like, and always being positive? And I was like, yeah, no, like when everything's good, like it's not hard at all. But like when shit hits the fan, it becomes really tough. And that's also an opportunity to share when it's not doing so well. And I think that's why a lot of you have shared that this channel feels so relatable to you, because I don't just share the good stuff. Like, I share when things don't go right and when things get a little bit more difficult. To some extent, obviously, I need to keep, and I want to keep some things private, but I think it's so important. And it's beautiful to see that more and more public people that have a reach much further than I do start opening up about these things and talking about these things. I also feel as though I came back to Switzerland in a way to like get back my old self and my whole old life before I moved to Cape Town 2 years ago. And as much as like so much here has still remained, and like the people, most people are still there, and you know, like some of the companies that I've been working with over the years are still here and everything, but it's not the same. And I think I've had to go through a grieving stage recently, where just accepting like that part, that chapter of life that I experienced is gone. It won't ever happen again. And so is this moment, you know. And I think for the first time in my life, I'm realizing how precious every single moment is, and how every single one of our actions and our decisions do impact the path we lead in life. And although some things are out of our control, so much is in our control for us to choose and carve what feels right for us. Such deep conversations on a Tuesday morning. What can I say? I'm gonna eat this breakfast. It's all cold now.